It's Baz Nichols with more, and I'm blowing it up on MetalgodZradiO. Baz, apparently Mo is coming out swinging, pumping fistfuls of metal as the new album launches. Is that an appropriate way to describe what is going on? Yes, it is. It's something that's long overdue. So it's had to have a bit of impact. So, and I hope that we've achieved that. I would agree with that, as I've listened to the record, and it's quite brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. I shall send a check in the post. I'm assuming the dosh is a little less in this world, in this current decade, versus what it was back in the glory days. Oh, it was great then, you know. But now it's it's a different world. It really is. Of course it is. Of course it is. The Destructor album represents the final production work of Chris Tsangarides. Thank you very much. What was it like? You're welcome. What was it? Yeah, the T and the S, bloody hell. What was it like completing? What was it like completing and releasing a project, knowing it would stand as part of his legacy? Well, yes, it was. Well, it was something that was really, what can I say? Even just knowing the man was a great pleasure. You know, he really was a nice man. But yes, having his, let's say, weight behind the album, it was immense. It really was. It was very important, and he was very much behind the band, obviously, because he joined it. So yes, it was really good. You mentioned rediscovering the final mixes on old studio equipment. Can you walk us through that moment? Yes, what it felt like to hear the album again after so many years? Right, well, certainly I can. Certainly Chris passed away just after Christmas, and 2017 to 18, 2017. And a couple of months it took the family to get over his passing. So after 2 months, we went into the studio and helped the family by breaking down the studio and going through all the instruments, etc. And Dave Ross, the guitarist, did a sterling job in trying to sell as much equipment as he could on their behalf. So, and while we were in there, 3 members of a band called Blind Tiger came in, and they knew how to work his radar system that he recorded on. We didn't. And they went through it, and they found our tracks on there. And they downloaded them onto a stick for us. So we had the album, which was really, really good. And after that, we took it to another guy who had a radar system, and he played it back for us. It was amazing. So, yeah, that's how we came upon them. And we eventually got them remastered in LA by Mel Applebaum. That was after our manager came on board, Dan McConomy, that Chris had arranged to manage the band before he passed. And he came on board, and he took the band by the scruff of the neck and got it to where it is now, and we got the album out. Moore has endured lineup changes and the loss of several members over the decades. How have those experiences shaped the emotional weight and themes of Destructor? Well, first of all, Kenny had, the guitarist on the first 2 albums, had 6 strokes, I think it was, in the year 2000. Okay. That was devastating. Yeah. And at that stage, Mike Freeland was our vocalist. We had at that stage, we had demoed Scream and My Obsession in 2000, and we demoed More, the track More, we demoed that in 84. So that is the link back. Yeah, that was devastating. And then we got Chris into the band, which rejuvenated the band. You know, him coming in, that rejuvenated the band. And sadly, while we were playing with Chris in that lineup, poor Andy was taken seriously ill, and he never recovered. He passed on the sticks to Stephen Ricks, our new drummer, and so he passed on the baton. So there's been a continuity throughout. You know, the people have come in, and Chris understood our music, and he knew us. You know, so it's carried on through. And I've been there since '82, so I've carried through. You know, the way we do things, and yeah, the new people have come in and settled into the way we play. And
the single Hearts on Fire deals with humanity's fight against cancer. Why was this an important topic for the band to address, and how did you approach it musically?
Well, that was really down to our vocalist Mike Freeland, who really wrote we actually had the outline of the song completely, and it was his lyrics. It was his lyrics, and something that was very personal to him. And in hindsight, it's personal to everybody, really. So, yeah, it's a very difficult topic to cover, but I think he did a brilliant job.
More emerged from the new wave of British heavy metal scene. How do you balance staying true to that sound while evolving for modern audiences?
Well, it's still the riff-based type of music. We play riff-based songs, and that goes from 79 up to now. So that's the basic thing, and we still do things in the same way. We had Chris come in, who got similar guitar sounds, if not better guitar sounds than were in '82. And things progressed, but it's still raw. But it's got a bigger production because of Chris's ability, you know. So I think it's only in the production that it's changed. The actual playing is very, very similar.
Which of the bands from the new wave of British heavy metal scene were you surprised did not make it? And what were your thoughts of Iron Maiden at that time?
Well, it's very difficult to say which ones didn't make it because, you know, I suppose over here we know bands like Angel Witch and things like that. I don't know whether you know them over there, but, you know.
Of course.
Yeah, to us, everybody over here has made it. There's only a few on the periphery, maybe, but no, most of them are well known over here. What was the other part of the question?
And what were your thoughts on Iron Maiden at the time?
Yeah, Iron Maiden, yeah, well, great band, because the band actually toured with them.
Sure.
Back in the 80s, just before I joined. No, great band. Yeah, they just gone from strength to strength. You know, they brought in new members like we have, and they just get better and better. Amazing band, yeah. We did.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, we did a gig for their old drummer. What's his name? Can't remember that. Yeah, we did. We did a gig for him when he had MS. We did a benefit gig for him. Yeah, they're great band.
Clyde Burr, right?
That's right. Yeah. My memory's bad at my age.
Tell me about it. Bloody hell. I use my identification card primarily to remind myself who I am.
If I wake up in the morning, I go from there, you know.
No doubt. You've worked with major labels in the past, but now you're releasing music to your own label, Warhead Music, that's LLP. Right. How has that independence changed your creative and business approach?
Well, this is it. You see, we've been advised by Dan McConaughey. Once we got the album, he had a look around at record labels and that, and he advised us that our best bet was to actually have our own label and promote it ourselves. And it's turned out very well indeed. So we set up the thing was we then set up our own business model as well. So we've got control over everything, and it's working out very well.
What kind of bad advice have you been given by major record labels?
In what way? Sorry?
I don't know. What kind of bad advice were you given by, what was the good? I mean, obviously major labels or labels in general, somebody is there to maybe help with advice for the most part.
Well, none really, What can I say? They were, unless you're earning millions, they're not really interested in us, to be quite honest. And we weren't in that position. So, no, it's not like it was when we were at Atlantic. Atlantic used to give you lots of money up front for you to go out and play. Not now. No, it's changed completely. The business side of the business has completely reversed. So, they used to pump money into the band, and you could go out and you could tour, but now you've got to start from the bottom and work your way up. It's really different. It's really different.
What kind of excesses were you party to back in those days? We all often hear about loads of money just squandered. Were you part of that squandering?
I can't say too much about that, but no, I was not part of squandering money, but I think somebody was somewhere. I think some money disappeared somewhere, but no, it was very well run. It's what can I say? It was well run. It was well managed. I didn't have a lot to do with that side of the business. I came in '82 to promote the second album, and that's what I did. And the business was running, and I didn't have much to do with the business model. We had a manager, we had everything else, and I just did what I was told, turned up and played, and took the money, and thank you very much, goodbye.
Fair enough. Chris applied his Vortex system to the album. Can you describe how that influenced the guitar sound and overall production of the new record, Destructor?
Right. Well, yeah, the Vortex system was a system where he placed lights all around the room, so you've got a lot of ambient noise as well. The thing about close mic'd or DI'd is very clinical. It's whereas if you've got all the different placed mics to get the ambient sound, then you get a bigger bigger sound. It's as simple as that. And yeah, it was his own idea, and yeah, it's good. But in the old band, Kenny used to put a He used to put a cabinet out in the hallway of the studio to get a similar effect, believe it or not. And he used to get an ambient sort of noise from the corridor of the studio. Yeah, it's strange. It's been going on for a while, but Chris devised this new system, and it was amazing. It just made the guitar sound so big.
More toured with Iron Maiden during the Killers era. Looking back, how did those early experiences shape the band's identity today?
Well, again, I wasn't part of that, unfortunately. So I'm talking to the wrong person. But no, when I came in, you see, and they were a touring band, and I just came in on it. So how it shaped it before I came in, I couldn't tell you. But I came in and I was straight off on a tour. So I can't say how Iron Maiden influenced the band before I joined, unfortunately.
Absolutely, you can't do that. Very sorry.
I wish I had been, but I wasn't.
Oh, no worries. With mastering handled by Mauer Applebaum.
That's right.
What What did he bring to the final sound, especially in preserving Chris's original version?
Well, it's strange, but he knew Chris as well, and he worked with Chris before. So when Dan McConnelly suggested that he should master it, he did an amazing job. He really did. But he knew Chris. He knew his sound. He knew what to do. And my goodness, he's really brought out the guitars. He's brought out the drums. It's a fabulous mix. It really is.
After more than 4 decades, Destructor is being framed as both a continuation and a new chapter. Right. What do you hope longtime fans and completely new listeners take away from this record?
Well, I hope that we will get some new fans and that they are interested in what we do and the way we do it, because we are going to be working on a 4th album very shortly. So it's not going to stop there. Hopefully it will bring a few more new fans in and we can make them out on the road. Yes, it's very interesting times at the moment because we didn't know how it would be received or how we would be received after all this time, and it's going very well so far.
If Moore had to form a 5-a-side football team, who's playing striker, who's in goal, and most importantly, who's getting sent off first?
Oh, well, who's in goal? I think that would have to be Steve Ricks, the drummer, because he's quite tall chap. I used to play left wing when I played football, so I used to play a lot of schoolboy football. Mike, I think, would be left behind left back in the dressing room. Mind you, Mike actually played with Steve Harris. That's because Steve Harris used to have a football pitch at his place just outside London, and Mike actually went round there and played a game of football with Steve Harris. That's by the way. Who would be sent off first? Well, on the album, the one who would be sent off would be Dave Ross. He would argue with the ref. He really would. Yeah.
Baz, thank you so much for your time. Do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share with anybody that might be listening to this?
Sorry, I didn't tell you.
We'll have to wrap this up. Thank you for your time. Do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share with our listeners?
Yes, well, we're out there. We're gigging. Please come and see us. We are not unapproachable. We're just normal people. Please come and see us. And we'd love to meet you. We really would.